would like to run for the president of the United States in 2046 when you are 36 years old, right?
2048, I will be 36. But anyway, thank you. And I want to become president. I want to have a leadership because we need to teach our children in schools empathy. Because if not, that makes them vulnerable to the idea that others are worse than them for some
Yes.
selfish reason that even I honestly have no idea about. Racism stems from lack of empathy for others and the belief that you are better. And it's just some sort of weird justification for that, I feel. Racism is just a justification for being selfish. Being selfish is thinking that you are better than others. You have more priority than others. And that is why racism exists.
Wow.
Racism is only there to justify that. Racism in religion, sexism in gender. That is used to justify men being better than women, whites being better than blacks, Asians being better than Hispanics, this, that. However, we are all equally human inside, and we cannot be selfish in times where being even one bit selfish or arguing could lead to destruction of mankind. We are not just endangering us, we are the only people endangering us, and we need to save us. And I think that the people who are contributing to climate change and global warming the least, people who are poor, who don't have food on their plates, people who are like that, people who have the least to contribute to global warming have the most to be affected by it. I was so touched by the words of, I believe, Lillian, when she said if many communities lost fish while they were dependent on the ocean, then what are they going to do? We are taking resources for ourselves, our own gain, and sometimes for no reason whatsoever other than war trophies or anything like that. Not being considerate for others, and sometimes we even push down others who are less fortunate than us. We disregard them. Instead of trying to help them, we laugh at them, we tease them. We don't give them. There is no justification besides racism for such evil acts. We are not Muslim or Hispanic. We might be Muslim or Hispanic or any race, but we should not regard ourselves as different just because of that. In fact, we should not put a negative mindset to all our differences, but we should put a positive mindset to them. Differences are what a lot of people fear. Lots of people don't really like differences, and they use differences in justification or scapegoat for their own selfishness, for stepping upon others, for saying that they are better than others, and that cannot be justified. And so, racism, sexism is what is causing the main seed of this conflict. And it causes so many economic problems and distracts us from what is really happening in this world. Climate change, the ozone layer starting to decay, global extinction due to climate change, and the COVID-19 pandemic. Since we are focusing on this and that geopolitical stuff because we believe that we are better than others, we are never going to get anywhere with all our crises. We are the only people who can save us. We can't turn to the animals or nature to save us because they don't have technology. And honestly, if they did, they would probably kill us because of how badly we have mistreated them, how badly we have treated the animals, how much concern we have had for them. Well, little concern. We have tore down their forests, their homes, for really no for wood and stuff like that, when we could turn to other materials such as concrete or eco-friendly materials. We are polluting the sea with garbage, as Lillian mentioned. There is this huge pile of garbage assembling in the Pacific Ocean. This is polluting the local water. This is killing fish, whales, and the entire ocean. We don't have the least concern for animals. We have the most concern for people with differences to us. We actually have the least concern for people who are different than us. We have the most concern for ourselves. We are biased towards ourselves and selfishness because it's just sort of natural. But so we have to overcome that bias and realize that it's not just you, but the entire world, the entire globe that will be affected by what you do, or what choices you make. And we have to make this impact because if we don't, people will keep getting distracted on terrorism, on war, and on this will only cause suffering and death and distraction from the real problems that we have in our world.
Brought to you by Brilliant.org.
The Bari Science Lab to fall in love with math and science.